Okay, hi guys. I'm so excited for tonight. This is our weekly team Zoom, and we have a couple of very special guests tonight. It is a few of our brand new Double Diamond leaders, and I'm so excited for them to just share a little bit about themselves and then also share a couple of special tips with us too for how they got where they are. And I'm just really excited. So before we do, I am going to share our income disclosure chart really quick. So bear with me while I do that. Share screen. And here we go. So average income disclosure statement for anyone who may be watching this later and isn't an It Works distributor, or maybe you are. There you are. So let me stop share. We'll go back to regular. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick whoever I see first on here. Okay, M, I see you. So go ahead and I'll unmute you. Or you might have to unmute yourself. I don't know. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Got it.
Hi, girl. Okay, thank you so much for doing this. I know it was kind of like it was not last minute up here in my head, but it was last minute for all these poor girls who I was like, hey, what are you doing in 2 hours? Want to talk? And they're like, okay. So thank you so much for doing this. Let me pull up the questions that I wanted to ask you. While I pull up the questions, can you share your name, where you're from, how long you've been in the business? Obviously, you're a double diamond. Congratulations. And then share your story and feel free to, it doesn't have to be like the 20-minute version, but feel free to do like the 5 minute or, it doesn't have to be like your 30-second story. Okay.
Sure. Okay, so I'm Emily West. I am from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and yes, it's like Scranton, the office. A lot of people ask me that all through college. People were like, "Oh my gosh, like Scranton, the office," and I was like, "No, Scranton, like Turkey. I don't know." But yeah, Scranton, the office. Very small town. I'm actually outside. So when I first started the business, I was like, okay, like I'm a small town girl, am I gonna be able to do this? And I was able to do it because I'm a brand new shiny diamond, which is, or well, no wait, double diamond. Sorry, it doesn't even feel real. I actually just graduated from Penn State University. I graduated with a major in secondary English education, and I double minored in English and special education. So I had a busy plate through college, and there were times where I was like strapped for cash. I was like, okay, I want to go out with my friends, but I don't know if I can do that right now. I was waitressing for my first maybe like year and a half through school, just to be able to have some cash to go out with my friends, pay some extra bills, have a little bit of that gas money. But it, ironically enough, 2 months after I started the business, I was able to quit that waitressing job that I really did not like, which was amazing. I loved it. My friends saw me more. I got to see my friends more. I was like, I'm loving this. I got to do so many more college things because I wasn't working college person hours. I wasn't that person that was, I wasn't that person that was working late anymore. And I that's just what I didn't want to be able to do that. So after I started making a little bit of that money, Ashley can attest to this. She asked me like, what's one of your biggest goals? And I was like, I want a car. I want to buy a car. So I worked my booty off. I was able to buy that car, oh man, a little over a year into business. I bought a brand new, it was like a 2018 car. When I bought it, it was when I bought the car, it was the year 2019. So it was like a year-old car. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. It's so crazy. Some of my friends saw me rolling around in this car. They were like, how? Like, what are you doing? We see what you do, but like, we didn't think that you were like serious about it, because people doubt you when you first start something like this. My friends doubted me. Friends, the real ones stuck around. Shout out to them. So that was really that. Since I graduated about 3 weeks ago now. I got a job in Tennessee, in Chattanooga, and I am so excited. I have wanted to live in Chattanooga, live in Tennessee since like I was a senior in high school. So like 5 years ago, senior in high school. Without It Works, I am telling you right now, first of all, I wouldn't have a car to get down there. Second of all, I wouldn't have the money to go down there. I wouldn't have the money to go and teach at a school that I've only ever seen online. Like, I wouldn't have the opportunity to go and say, oh yeah, I can move down in July. That's fine. I can get an apartment for July. That's fine. I wouldn't be able to do that. So I am just so excited that I can and I'm able to because of this business.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love hearing Emily's story because she's like one of the young ones, like one of the little babies, not little baby, but you know, she's like one of the young girls on our team who just shows that like it doesn't matter what your age is, you can do it. And I love what you said about how you know people doubt you, you know, your friends and family, they doubt you and you just kind of have to show them, you have to prove them wrong. And so one question that I didn't give you but that I am curious about is like how many of those people who like maybe doubted you at first are jumping on board now because they're like, oh, stuff's happening for you, huh?
Yes. So I've had a lot of my friends who have watched me. Um, Hope is my biggest. She watched me for a long time and she just went diamond. I'm not sure if she's on here. She's usually on my first screen. Maybe she's not, but she hopped on with me and she just like went soaring. She was promoted to diamond last month. Another one is Maddie. She was one of my friend's girlfriends at the time and she was like, oh no, like I don't know if I should do it, whatnot. And she did it and she's soaring as well. So my friends are definitely seeing that like this is not something that, you know, you get into for a little bit and then you're like, oh, I'm just not going to do it anymore. So I think that as time goes on, more of my friends have been joining me, which is really cool.
Yeah. 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 I'm like obsessed with those girls. I'm like seeing their names like light up the reports and it's just so fun to see these girls like jump on and just catch the vision immediately because they have someone like you that they have been watching for so long so they see that it's like this is real, put in the work and you'll see the paycheck, you know. So yay. All right, let me go find the questions. I found them and then I lost them. Okay, so you promoted to double May last month in May, right? Okay, so share with us last month, like what really worked for you and for your team. Like, where were you getting all that volume from? Or even like, were you already boxed for double? Or did you have to pull in a bunch of distributors too? Like, where were you? What'd you guys do last month to make this happen?
Wow. Okay. So last month seems like a complete blur. I'm being totally honest. Um, so I don't believe we had to pull in like a lot of distributors. I think we were pretty much there. It was just a matter of having that momentum with volume that really helped. Getting those 400 boxes where they needed to be, getting girls in promotion spots where they needed to be, volume wise. I think something that worked collectively for us as a team was definitely getting caps up, but not only that, like reaching out to customers personally. Like I'm not saying cold messaging, but if you've had someone who you've been talking to for a while, following up with those messages has been key. I also am very big on following up with current LCs and getting them to make one-time purchases, like personal order purchases. So say one of my boxes is, you know, like 50 away from being at 400. I'll message the customer and say, hey, would you like to place another order? We have the our pick two, pick three going on. I think these would really help you. And that way, that box is done. And then I make a note usually to say, okay, this box needs 50 BB, like as an LC. Is that kind of like, maybe I'm wacky with the way I do things.
No, that's so good. And I love that the pick two, pick three, I love that they've like pretty much brought it back every month for the last 3 months, I think, because it makes it so easy to reach out to customers who like aren't even ordering regularly on the auto shipment and just be like, hey,
Yeah.
VIP, you get this, and like I have at least, I feel like at least 10 customers a month, not always the same 10, but at least 10 customers a month that are like, yeah, sure, I'd love
Mhm.
to, because it's such a great price and it's such a good way to just boost your volume. And if you are in a promotion month, get those boxes to 400 or 500 like we need them. So I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it helps with like overall volume too. So
Yep.
say like someone's not, like you're great, you have like all the 400 boxes you need, but your volume overall is just not there yet. That's when I go ham, and I just brought Go Ham back. That was like 2012 flashback. But I always go back and I ask those customers just like, hey, do you want to place like a quick order really quick? And that's what I do. Another thing that I think worked really, really well for my team last month was having very small group chats. I am not personally a fan of like really large group chats. They just for me, they overwhelm me and I'm just like, I can't concentrate. But if I have like a group of like 4 or 5 girls who, are really going, really pushing, like going, maybe not even 4 or 5, maybe like 4 max, like really going, really pushing, and like we're motivating each other and saying, hey, I have this, I need this is working for me right now. And especially if they're on the same team saying like, oh, like, um, Colby's at this, Maddie's at this, like, let's keep going, like, just like kind of pumping each other up. And especially at the end of the month, that was so key. And it was just really cool to see all of the volume like going up and going up. And it was just like, it's so awesome.
I forgot I was muted. I was like, yeah, it is. It's so cool. It's like the coolest feeling just to see everybody like coming together and rallying and just wanting to make it happen. So question, this one's like personally for you. You mentioned this in the beginning when you were sharing your story, but I feel like specifically in the last month, you had a lot going on. Like you were graduating from college, you were like in the midst of getting a new job, in the midst of moving, plus just like regular life happening. And I just want you to like tell us, because I don't feel like there's ever a really good answer for this, but I like to hear what different people's perspective is on this. So like, how did you balance that all? Because like for me, I know when I'm promoting, I want to like cry in a closet most of the day. So you had like all these other things going on too. So like, how did you manage your life and making sure you were, working your business, but like getting all the other stuff done too?
Yeah. Um, Life has been very busy and it's been very crazy. Um, I've been doing a lot of personal development and I've been doing a lot of like kind of connecting myself like honestly to Jesus. Like I would not be able to do this if I wasn't like praying my butt off every single day. Like, Lord, please help me get through the day, help me guide my team, but also help me do life. Like I I swear I probably prayed that like a million times a day because it was so hard to balance like, okay, I have to look at apartments. Okay, I have to like help my team. Okay, I have to have a faculty meeting at 2 o'clock. Like it was so crazy. I started to get up earlier. And what motivated me to do this was the 5 Second Rule by Mel Robbins. If you have not read that book or listened to the audio, highly suggest. It has gotten my butt out of bed. I am not kidding you. I used to like love sleeping. Now I'm like, okay, I gotta get up. Like it's time to go do things. It really, really, really helped me. I would get up, I would message early, I would get my personal development done early. Um, Messaging, I mean like I message for hats usually in the morning, and then I'll go like later on in the morning, like whatever, I mean 9, 10 o'clock, probably like 10. I will switch over to messaging for product model and then messaging for PDP like later in the day. I also do a lot of my interacting in the morning. So I'll like go through my stories in the morning. I'll swipe up and react. I'll comment things. I'll go through like some of the things I may have missed head.
Hold on, let me mute everybody real quick, Emily.
No, you're good.
You probably know my name. I probably didn't transfer any. Thank you.
Why can't I mute everybody? Can everybody mute themselves, please? I don't know why it's not letting me right now.
Yes. Gosh, Sammy. For some reason, I wasn't muted. Am I muted?
Mute, please.
Hey, Randy, can you mute yourself?
Oh, here we go. Thank you, Summer. I think that was Summer. I can always recognize her voice. Okay, Emily, go. Oh, you're already unmuted. Sorry, you guys. You know I'm the worst about technology. I'm like, I can't find the mute all buttons. Poor girl's like at work talking. Okay, go ahead, guys. Emily, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I forget what I was saying. Oh, I was just like, I got up early. I did messaging then. And then something that I started doing a little bit more towards the end of the month was messaging for like before I went to bed. I would send like a million messages, but I wouldn't go to bed until I had at least 10 waiting for me in my inbox. So I would go to bed, or I would like lay in bed, and I would message until I had like 10 people or so in my inbox ready for tomorrow morning. So I knew I at least had 10. That was one thing that I started doing, and it makes me feel good in the morning. I'm like, oh great, I have at least 10 messages waiting for me, getting ready to go. So that was one thing that I really liked doing also. It proved helpful.
Shelby, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so just really quickly, because I know she already touched on this a little bit, but just like as her quote leader, watching her promote to double, and then even when she promoted to diamond, she's literally one of the busiest people on my entire team. Like just everything that she has between school and life and all the fun things in between that she does. But the crazy thing is, like, she is, because you asked her like how she balances it all. And I feel like, and we've all heard this before, that there really isn't like an actual balance. I mean, there's definitely things you can put in place. And like she's saying, waking up earlier, going to bed and sending out messages so she has something to wake up to in the morning. Like all of those things definitely play into it. But I think the other thing too, and she touched on this with going diamond, her huge goal was a car. But one thing about her is she always has a very big goal in mind, and I feel like that just is a driving factor for her. Obviously this one, like double, was moving to a completely different state and pretty much like starting her life as an adult. And it's like once she has that vision and she knows what she wants, she literally is like on a mission. And like I said, one of the busiest ones on my team, but I can honestly say that if I message her, she will respond within like 10 minutes. I don't know how she does it because I don't even respond within 10 minutes, but she'll be like, hey, sorry, I'm at my sister's graduation and then I have a birthday party and then 3 essays to write, but I'll make sure I get my 10 haps up. And I'm like, oh, okay, see you later. So I just think if anybody else on here is like in any way overwhelmed or discouraged, or I saw something pop up, somebody saying that they need balance, I really think it's just like when you have like such a vivid goal and it's a big one and it's like I'm doing this no matter what, I think the whole balancing just kind of happens. Like you just wake up and you're like, okay, I've got to get this and this done, and then I can start my day. So, and I just feel like she's very much what's the word, like goal oriented. Okay, that's all.
That's so good. Makes me kind of wonder if you'd be willing to share what your next goal is now that you like reach. I don't even see you anymore. Where are you, Emily? Hopefully you're still on.
I'm
It's
here.
just
My
oh,
laptop died, so I had to switch to my phone real quick. I knew it was going to
okay.
happen, so I was prepared.
So my question is, what's your new big goal? Like you hit your diamond goal of getting a car, you hit your double goal of getting a new life, an adult
Yeah.
life, moving.
So,
You're moving, but like, what's your triple goal?
my triple goal. Ooh, really put me on the spot here, Shelv.
I know that wasn't in the, but when Ashley said that, I was like, that's so good. And I wanted to hear what yours was, mostly to inspire people that like, we tell you like, oh, write down your why, have your why sitting up there because that's what drives you. I don't know what sitting up there means, but like have your why in front of you so that it can drive you and that's what pushes you every day. But I love that idea of having like, not even necessarily tangible, but having like this big goal, like this is what I'm pushing for. I'm not pushing for triple. I'm pushing for what triple's going to get me or what triple's going to do for me. So it just made me like wonder what yours is in hopes of inspiring everybody to like sit down and really think like, okay, hi, what's your goal? You know, like what do you want at this next rank that you're working for?
Yeah. So I really do think that having a specific goal in mind, like it's not, okay, I really want to go diamond. I really want to go double diamond. I really want to go triple diamond. Like for me, like Ashley said, diamond for me was, okay, if I'm diamond, I can get a car. If I'm double, I can, move to Tennessee and not have to worry about, all of the stress and that like the financial stress that comes along with moving 11 and 12 hours away. So going with triple, I would really, really, really love to pay off my student loans. So triple would help me immensely with that. And so I'm 22. I don't think I said this. I'm 22. Tomorrow I'm going to be turning 23. So to be able to be a 23-year-old paying so much money on her student loans just like baffles my mind. And I'm like, ah!
That would be so incredible, Emily. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. And thank you everyone in the chat. I just saw them all pop up.
But yeah, that would be amazing. Okay, let me pull these back up. I keep losing them. Okay, so next question. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so how did you rally your team and cast the vision for them last month, promotion month?
Yes. Okay. So this is an amazing question because I think that casting vision, first of all, comes from yourself. If you are casting something for yourself and you're making it known, like buying a new car, going to Tennessee, all of that good stuff, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like I can buy a car. I can like move. I can have enough money to do home projects and things like that. Like, I think it's just instilling in teammates that, if you're looking to, we'll do home projects. If you're looking to do home projects and you need an extra like $400 to create a new patio, okay, you're going to go Ruby and here's how we're going to do it. And then I tell them, okay, you need 3 distributors and they have to be at 400. And they're like, really? Like I can totally do that. And then I'll have enough for my brick patio. Yeah, you'll have enough for that brick patio and you'll probably have enough for that for a little bit more. Like, I think it's very important to be able to relate to your distributors in a way that you know what you're getting from them, or they know what they're getting from going Ruby, what they're getting from going Emerald, what they're going to be able to get when they go Diamond. Like, making it personal to them and saying, Diamond, you can get a new car. Double may replace your income. Maybe I know I've had people on my team, Diamond replaces their second job. They can quit the second job that they had. That's insane to me. So like, if I can help someone quit their job, quit their second job, because it's taking up too much time from their family, their friends, whatever it may be, or whoever it may be, I want to help them get there, because that's like, it's like, how can you not be so excited for someone to like say, I was able to quit my second job because I make enough money in my side business that I don't need to do it. So like, for me, that's just something that's a no-brainer, and I want to be able to help themselves get there. And it's amazing that I get to like help people do that. And I'm gonna tangent here, but when I was on the family call the other night, I saw that Joel Dunn, who, for those of you who don't know, Joel Dunn, Stephanie Dunn, like #1 income earners, I saw him comment something. It was like, you're not signing 6 DTs, you're not signing 6 LCs, you're changing 6 lives. And I was like, what? Like, you're able to do that.
You're muted, Shelby.
Oh, I was just talking to myself. Sorry, I had to show the income disclosure chart when you
Sorry.
about Joel and Steph. But
sorry.
no, you're allowed to talk about them. I just want to make sure that I am able to put this up on YouTube for people later. Thank you for whoever told me I'm muted, because I definitely did not know that.
It was
okay,
me.
so last question for you, or I have 2 more. Okay, so what are you doing this month to keep that momentum going?
Okay. So I'm not going to lie. This month has been a little bit slower, and you'll have that in a business. Of course, months are slower. Sometimes there's the highs and there's the lows. But I have been haps out the butt, like haps. Getting haps up for yourself, helping your team get those haps up and things like that. Messaging for haps product model, potential distributor. I've also been trying to get more consistent with my posting, because I know I'm not necessarily the best with posting on Instagram or Facebook. So making sure that I'm trying to post life business opportunity. That's one thing that I've been trying for myself to do, and getting my team to do, because I started doing it more towards the end of last month, and it helped me tremendously. So keeping on track with that, haps and posting consistently have been really good. I've also been doing the same messaging before I would go to bed and messaging when I wake up. So those are things that have really been helping me this month.
So I love that, because it's like, oh, I'm just doing the things that I always do, because that's really what this is, you guys. Like, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. Like, we do these 6 things. We have our tracker now to keep us on track too. And it's like, just do these things. And that's what keeps the momentum going. Like, the momentum's already going. It's a train that we can't stop. The only way that we can stop it is if we just don't do anything, like that's the easiest way to stop it. So while it's here, we have to keep it going as long as we possibly can. And I think they said it on the family call, but I've been on a couple of different Zooms in this throughout this week. So it might not have been the family call, but they said like, this is our first year ever where our June has been better than our May, which is like mind blowing, because normally we think of, if you're new in the business, you don't know this, and we're not going to set this standard now. We're going to keep this momentum going. But typically the summer months are slower months because it's summer vacation. So distributors are not working as hard because they're going on vacation, or kids are home from school or whatever, and less people are buying. But right now that's not the case. And so we're taking this momentum as far as we can possibly take it. It's called Big Mo, and we're not letting him go. So let's keep it rolling. Okay, Em, one last tip that you would love to share with us to end June super strong, and to just keep that momentum going throughout the rest of the year. You're muted.
Oops. I do that all the time. So I'm going to say, for myself, for my team, for everybody, I just think that consistency is so key. And I've seen what consistency can do, and I've seen how hard it is to come back from being consistent. just because you get out of the habit and then it's so hard to get back in. But I'm telling you, once you get back into the habit of being consistent or staying consistent, it is so worth it. Because last month, I had a lot of people who reached out to me to become customers. And that was because I was consistent in posting stories, consistent in posting on Facebook and on Instagram, all of those kinds of things. It was people coming to me because I was being consistent. So I'm just going to, consistency is key. And I know we've all heard it so many times, but it's so true. And it's hard to lose it's hard to gain it once you lose it. So just staying consistent the whole time and being like, okay, I have to do these things for my business. So I think that's my little tidbit.
Thank you so much, girl. That was so good. So many good tips. I think my favorite one is how you're messaging like crazy at night before you go to bed, so that when you wake up in the morning, your inbox is just full of messages. I love that so much. That's so good. And thank you for all the tips. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Congratulations on Double Diamond and on your bonus. We didn't even mention that, but congrats on all of it. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up, maybe, I don't actually see her on here, but I don't know if she's under like just a phone number instead of a name. Steph Mann, are you on right now? If you are, unmute yourself. Show yourself. No. I didn't see her either. Okay, so next. There's a second one. There's another person, Caitlin Reeves. Are you on right now? I don't see you either. I don't know where all my girls are at. I messaged both of them and I'm on red, so I don't think either of them are on right now. Okay, so I have a very special guest who she's probably like, why are you making me do this right now? But Jenna, unmute yourself, girl. Jenna is actually a sideline sister to this team, but she is on tonight, and I asked her if she wouldn't mind sharing her story. She promoted to Double Diamond last month and earned herself the Double Diamond bonus. So Jenna, share your story. Tell us, not a lot of us know you, so tell us your name, where you're from, when you got started, the whole thing, and then I have like maybe 1 to 8 questions to ask you.
Okay, you're funny. I'm so happy to be here. Shelby put me on the spot, but that's okay. She is so sweet, so I'm willing to do it for her. I am Jenna Christensen. The name says Jordan Kaiser. That's because we're on my sister's Zoom. She's also in the business, but I am Jenna Christensen. I just promoted to Double Diamond last month and earned the more bonus, so that was super exciting. But I previously, before It Works, was a teacher at a mental health facility. So I taught ages 7 to 12. And it was really tough, you guys. Like they are crazy kids. Some of them are fun. Some of them are actually like pretty aggressive. And it started to be a lot. And I was just getting burnt out. And I actually ended up being in a car accident where I was actually in the hospital for like 5 days. And so I remember sitting in my hospital bed. I had a lot of injuries, so I completely blew out my knee. So I had broken my kneecap, and I severed my patella tendon. I had a brain bleed. I fractured my back, and I had a collapsed lung. So all sorts of crazy things. I was pretty fortunate to survive the accident, actually. And I remember just being so nervous that night. It was like 2 a.m. I was like either going into surgery or just getting out of surgery. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, it was a Saturday night, and I was like, I need to text my supervisor. I need to tell him that I'm not going to be able to be to work on Monday. Like, I have to tell him. And I was able to get out of the hospital, and after that, I was not able to work for 3 months. So I did not have any income coming in. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to survive, like paying for bills, paying for things. So I actually ended up having to move out of my apartment, and I moved in with my lovely sister and her 3 kids. It was kind of a zoo. It was crazy. She had just had her 3rd kid, and she was about a month old. So looking back, I mean, honestly, it's a blessing in disguise, because I remember just thinking, I remember thinking I was so tired of working where I was working. And then I eventually started kind of getting my hours back at work when I was able to relearn how to walk, and after all the physical therapy and things that I did. And so I went back to work, limited hours, and I remember just like sitting there at my desk, like Googling other jobs that I could do. I was like desperate. I was Googling like to be a daycare director. I was like Googling to just even be like a daycare teacher, because I was just so tired of the job that I was at. And I loved it, because I honestly was changing so many like children's lives, but it was just really hard, especially after my recovery of my accident. And I kind of started going out on my own. I moved out of my sister's. I started renting a house by myself. So like baby steps after my recovery. And then that's when this business kind of came into my life. My sister actually joined our friend, and they found a girl on Instagram. Her name is Alyssa Carnley, and so that's kind of how we're sidelines. So Rhea and Jordan joined under Alyssa, and I didn't even know that they were going to do that. And so when I found out, I was like, that is super embarrassing, like that black and green It Works thing, like ugh. So the typical, like, I don't know, that you guys, they did a live, and I was like, this is really embarrassing. Like, I'm going to pretend my sister did not just do that. So needless to say, I could have joined her when it was half off kits, and I decided to tell her no for like the 10th time. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, stop asking me that. I'm not doing it. And then the next day she's like, just try it. Like, you're okay. Well, when you're like left out, I'm like super big on like fear of missing out. So she like knows that. And she was like, okay, well, when you're missing out, you know, like don't come crying to us kind of thing. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Like, she knew exactly how to get me. So I signed up for $99. Within 8 months, I was able to leave my teaching job and replace my income. And then now I've been in the business for it was just 2 years in April, and I promoted now to double diamond, and I earned the more bonus. And so now here I am. And it's just crazy looking back to when I was applying for jobs. I was like looking for a daycare director position, and I actually had an interview, and I was so discouraged and so sad when I found out that I did not get the job. And looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly why. Like, God knew like what he had planned for me, and I didn't know, but he knew. And so here I am.
Oh, I have goosebumps hearing that. Your story's so good. I will never forget hearing your story for the first time in our little bedroom that we were in at the leadership retreat. And I was just like, who is this girl? I love her. And then I heard your story, and it's just so good. And there's like little things that I pick out from it. Like you're so right. Like, God had his hands all over all of it. You know what I mean? Like, between the accident and then like the jobs and job hunt or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, finally joining that super weird black, green, and bling company, which makes me laugh literally out loud, because you're wearing a black, green.
I know.
The OG shirt.
The OG
I'll
shirt.
I'll never wear one of those shirts. Oh wait, I'm wearing one. But thank you for sharing your story. Thank you so much. So I want to know a little bit, like, because you're a sideline, I know that I share a lot of stuff from my team page with you guys, but I also know that you guys probably have your, like, a lot of your own stuff too. So I'm curious of, like, if we could all be a little fly on the wall, like, how does your team, like, how can I ask this in a way that even makes sense? Because my brain's crazy, but like, how, like, what did you do with your team last month? I guess I could ask, to like really get you guys past the finish line.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just knew where I was going, and I was like, if you want to come with me, like, I'm going double diamond, and that means this for you. And I heard Emily talking about how she was saying, like, that means you're going to be able to, you know, get your car, do this, like, patio or whatever. And so, like, I have a girl right now, she's working towards being able to stay home with her baby. And so, like, she obviously, like, my team is ready to rally because they know what those, like, those goals mean for them versus, like, oh, the rank, or, you know, what it's going to get them. And so honestly, we've heard it 100 times, host to post. I was always kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say that I, like, signed a ton of customers last month, but it was my best month that I've ever had in the business, and I signed roughly 30 customers. And but I've always been, like, a person who finds out, like, what my numbers are, and I'm like, okay, time to hustle. And I knew at the beginning of the month, we all knew, and it was like, if you don't know how to run your numbers, I'm here. We're doing it. This is your numbers, and this is how I keep track of it. And it was like, that way we could know what we needed, so we could hustle after that right away versus waiting until the 25th when it was, like, concrete. It was then we had an idea and we went after it, and they just knew what they wanted. And you know, not everyone rallied, and so I want to make that clear. Like, obviously everyone knows that, you know, not everyone rallies with you, and that's okay, because this is your promotion or whatever goal you're going for, and just don't let that derail you. Like, there was quite a few times last month where I could have been like, oh, but, you know, it would be so helpful if they ran their ABBV auto ship, or if they were working, or if they could sign another customer. And we all have that. And so just, like, not letting that, like, derail you in a promotion, and just keep going, and just eyes on the prize, honestly.
I have a really hard time being quiet, you guys. So if you don't know me, I'm like, when can I chime in? So I just have to say, you guys, you don't know this about her promotion. I'm her sister, older sister, and I'm also her upline. But anyway, 2 days before the month end, you guys, it was like mid-month, and this girl was on her chart slaying LCs, and the person that she was under was supposed to be the Ruby. She wasn't rallying. She was unresponsive, not working, dead legs, dead weight. I hate to say it that way, but it's true. And she just wasn't rallying, and that's okay. She can work her business that way. But the girl under her was slaying LCs, and we're like, this girl's going Ruby. This girl's going Ruby in two weeks. We're gonna box her in. 2 days before the month ended, she still wasn't even boxed double diamond. 2 days before the month ended, she's not boxed double diamond. And we're looking at each other like, how are we going to box you double diamond? And we literally gave it to God. We're like, God, the next distributor that needs this business, like, is going here. They're going to have a paycheck. We're going to help fill them to 400. And then that night she was boxed double diamond. And then 2 days later she went double diamond. So, you know, just blessing efforts, I think. You know, she gave it a really, really hard run, and there was no way that she or the big man upstairs was going to be like, well, we're just going to let it go 2 days before the month ended. And I think that that's crazy, because I don't know what I would have done 2 days before the month ended if I wasn't boxed for my promotion, you know.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. And it's so true. And I'm like thinking back to my promotions, and I know that I think it was triple that was very similar to where I was like boxed, ready to go. It was 1 week before the end of the month, and my Ruby was like a Ruby down at the bottom of my triple chart was like, I'm out. I called customer service. I canceled. And I was like, excuse me, what? Like you're a Ruby and I'm going triple. And once they're canceled, they're canceled. And I, of course, had like a meltdown because that's what I do. But then, just like you said, you got to give it up to God and just trust that it's going to happen. And then once I like got my life together, I looked and saw that there was like a good amount of girls underneath this Ruby that was there. And I just needed one more distributor for a new Ruby underneath the one that canceled. And I didn't even know it because I was so focused on this Ruby that wasn't even working and ended up canceling, you know? And so it was almost like a blessing in disguise that I was like able to see that there was actually like life under there, and I was so busy trying to like pull this quote unquote dead weight along. So it was, you know, a blessing in disguise. So thank you for sharing that. And I think, Jenna, one thing that you said where you were like, well, you know, we all know this, but, and you said that like not everyone's gonna rally during promotions. We don't all know that. Like we know that, but this whole team doesn't know that. And it's not even just promotions. It's like I have a lot of girls, even new distributors on this team who are enrolling. And then, you know, the girls quit or the girls ghost them or the girls are like enroll 6 LCs in 2 days and then fall off the face of the earth. And it's like the distributor takes it so hard and like thinks it's their fault. And if there's, that's like my biggest thing is I'm just like, guys, God puts the people on your team, and the people that are going to stay on your team, he puts them there. And then the ones that go away, it's because they weren't meant to be there. And Rochelle said something in some Zoom that we did recently where she was like, I like to play like basically mind games with myself where I like make up a reason why they left to make myself feel better about it. So like she doesn't know why they left, but she's like, they probably were gonna like go diamond and then leave and go to another company, and then I was gonna get really upset about it. Like she makes up these bizarro like scenarios in her head so that she's like, oh yeah, it was better that they left on day 2 than day 200, you know? So just something silly and fun that you guys can do if you want to. But Jenna, I loved that so much. I love your story, and I thank you so much for sharing. If you could give, again, I know it's on the spot, so don't kill me, but like if you could just give like one big tip, you know, whether it's just like an overall general tip or just like a tip to power through the rest of the month and just in the month strong. We still have so much time, so I don't even know why I say in the month strong, but like to carry us through to the end, what would your tip be?
This is always like such a hard question. But one of the biggest things with this promotion last month was I just kept looking at Jordan and I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen. Like, especially where I wasn't boxed, I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen. I leaned into God more than I ever have. And I think I've shared with you, Shelby, before about how before this business, I was just not, my faith was not strong at all. And it just keeps getting stronger and stronger with this business. But I mean, I just want to point that out because the how, I think I just like gave it to God, and I just every single time I was thinking, how am I going to do this? And I think this goes for, you know, just like anything you're going to do. So if you're like, I just want to sign one more customer for my shopping spree, you guys, like you're thinking, how am I going to do that? Don't even ask the how. It doesn't matter. The people that are going to come into this business, like Shelby said, are going to come into this business. And I just want you to know that because it's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. And that's honestly so hard to just like let go of that control, especially like I'm green and red and I have a lot of questions, and I also like want money. And so I'm like, that's a hard balance for me. But just letting go of the how and just going for it and putting in the effort as much as you can, and God's going to bless that. And then this is kind of just another thing that I was thinking about. I've had a lot of time to, I feel like, reflect on this promotion, you guys. So basically, the other thing that I would have as just kind of like a tip is, if you are looking to be a leader, if you're looking to be a ruby leader, an emerald or a diamond or double, you have to show up as that leader before you are that rank or like at that leader rank. And so I was, so Rhea and Jordan and I, we all run a team page together. And I, probably was thrown into it, like, just kind of, I mean, obviously, like, I have fear of missing out. So I'm like, well, I want to like do that with you guys, even though I'm like probably like so scared of doing a Zoom. So I was just like thrown into it at the beginning of my business, where I was a distributor, and I was like, okay, I'm going to lead a working Zoom, I guess. So just like showing up as that leader before you are actually that leader, just kind of showing up before you go up, and that's going to get you there. If you're not showing up as a diamond, there's no way that, especially God is going to put that in your hands, because if you can't run a diamond team, he's not going to do that for you, because that's a lot. And I knew that for my double diamond bonus, I was like, well, I have to show up as this. I have to be there for my team. I have to go above and beyond more than I have ever done, because I need to show up as that double diamond leader. And that means doing more than I was doing as a diamond leader. So that's kind of my two biggest tips.
So good. So good. I couldn't agree more that you have to act like the rank that you want to be. Wake up every morning and like, I'm a diamond leader, I'm a double diamond leader, whatever it is, and then do the things that leader would do. And I think like if you're new here, because that's the one hang up, right? Is a lot of people, like, they see my posts and they're like, I want to make extra money from home. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I want extra money or whatever. But nowhere on my post was I like, and you have to be a leader. Surprise! Like, no one necessarily signs up to be a leader. So I think if you are brand new and you're watching this and you're like, wait, what'd she just say? I have to be a diamond leader. It's like, yeah, you do. You grow into that role, but like, don't forget that your upline or your diamond leader, me, I'm your presidential leader, or if you're not on my team, you have an upline of some sort, even if it's not like your direct enroller, and like go to them and utilize your team pages, utilize all the tools that we have in place for you guys, and just know that like, you get to be whatever you want to be in this business. Like if you want to make $200 a month and that makes you completely happy and that's all you needed because you just wanted to get your hair and your nails done a couple times a month, then cool. That's great. Do you. But if you want to be that ruby, that emerald, that diamond, that double and beyond level, then that's when you need to start like growing to be a leader, growing to be an entrepreneur, growing to be a better person in general, growing to be, less of a butthead, like whatever it is that you have to grow on, then you got to grow, like you can't just stay a seed. You have to let that seed grow as your team grows. So thank you so much for sharing, Jenna. I absolutely love you. And I'm so glad that you were able to share with us. So we're at the hour mark. I know we started a couple of minutes late, but thank you guys all for jumping on and staying on and celebrating some of these promotions with us. Next week, we have a very special guest speaker. She's an Ambassador Diamond, and I think she's triple on her 2.0 chart. And so she has tons and tons of wisdom that she's going to be able to share with us next week. And then the following week, which will be, I think, July 1st, we're going to do a huge kickoff Zoom for the month and also bring on some of our new diamond leaders to share some tips and tricks with you guys. So super excited. Let's absolutely just kill it these next 2-ish weeks that we have left in June. I always like to say this, like, if you've been killing it, keep killing it this month. If you've been taking the last 2 weeks to just kind of like get organized, or maybe you've just been like slacking off or not being consistent or whatever it is, that's okay. There's still so much time left, you guys. And like, I haven't reached my goals yet, but I'm not worried because I know I have so much time to reach those goals. We still have so much time, you guys. So get to work, be consistent, show up for your team, show up for yourself, and let's just end June with a bang. I'm so excited. Don't forget to, just last little plug here, don't forget that we're within a new week of every 6 customers that you personally enroll, the company's gonna give you $100 on top of what we already get paid on those customers. The company's just like, oh, hey, here's some more money. Have a great day. So sign those LCs. Let's go reach our goals. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a great night and a great rest of your week. Bye, guys.